I'm going to be really controversial right now and tell you the truth. Many of the fitness influencers that you follow are lying to you. Oh yeah, baby, listen. The world of fitness is nothing but smoke and mirrors. And really, we're at a point where AI is taking over. You can edit videos, you can edit photos, and everything that you guys see online filtered through reality is not reality at all. And you are comparing yourselves to these people. You are looking at them as inspiration, and you're wondering why. I'm doing some of the same things they're doing. Why don't I look like them? Here is a case in point. Just the other day, I was tagged in a post on social media of someone who was revering a certain fitness influencer and comparing that person to Kim Kardashian, saying that, hey, listen, this person, the influencer, is better than Kim because Kim has had all these surgeries to have that body, but this influencer over here, this is all fitness, honey, all day. And I could not help but to look at this person and just laugh my head off, because it was very obvious that this person likely had cosmetic surgery as well. But again, so many of you are under the impression that what you are seeing before your eyes is real. Honey, I want to go ahead and pull off the band-aid for you today. But here's the question: why do they lie? Why lie, Roxy? Well, let's face it, the fitness industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and there are people out there who have money to make, and they will do it by any means necessary, even if that means deceiving their audience into believing what it is that they want you to believe. And you've got to be wiser than that. Now, I am not someone who is going to disparage other fitness professionals doing what they have to do. Listen, more power to you. What I know as someone who's been in this industry for over 25 years is that I always have moved with integrity. And I feel like nowadays that I'm kind of like the fairy godmother of the last bastions of ethical fitness in this industry. Social media has really taken fitness and just ran with it in a way that's just dangerous messaging and more. We've talked about that here on this channel. We talked about the hypersexuality in fitness. We talked about the vanity in fitness. We talked about ways that fitness that's supposed to help you to feel better about yourself is actually making people feel worse. And it's perpetuating eating disorders and more. The only people who can change that is you. And that's what I want to talk about today. If you're brand new here at the channel, stop right now, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so that way you do not miss a single video. If you're someone who needs some motivation and you want to do it the right way, the ethical way, the smart way, and the way that's going to help you to establish a lifestyle, go ahead and get on my email list. That link is down below. And if you'd like to work with me for coaching, honey, listen, come on over and work with your girl. Go ahead and click on that link below or check out the QR code that you see on the screen, and let's set up an appointment. Now, let's get into the conversation today, because I want to go ahead now and just tell you exactly what are these people doing. If I'm going to say, hey, look, these folks are out here doing what you think is ethical, and I'm sitting here saying, whoa, listen up here. That ain't it. This ain't the way. Let me go ahead and break down for you exactly what it is that these influencers are doing to fool you into thinking that they have the body of your dreams. So the first thing, when I had sat down and talked to this person about what was going on, I said to her, listen, a lot of these influencers are having surgeries and they're not even telling you. What are the kind of surgeries that most fitness influencers are going to go for? The liposuction, they're going to go for liposculpting as well. And this is different than sitting in the office and getting the cool sculpting and stuff like that. I'm talking about sitting in a surgeon's operating table on the operating room and having that wand go ahead and remove fat from your body. Listen, you do not have to be overweight to have liposuction. And for a lot of women, getting a super tiny waist isn't a natural thing to their physique. So they're going to need to have fat removed and then have that displaced to somewhere else on their body. So you see these girls with these incredibly super tiny waists, and you're wondering, is it the waist trainers? Is it their diet? Is it their training? What is it that's helping them to get there? What a lot of them are not telling you is that they went ahead on the sneak tip and got the lipo sculpting done. And just the little subtlest thing can make a world of difference in the way that they're looking. The next thing that they'll often do is to go on that surgeon's table and go ahead. They have that fat removed, but guess what they're gonna go ahead and do? They're gonna put it somewhere else, and that's usually in the glutes, hips, thighs, and stuff like that to give them that more rounded physique on the bottom. Booties they are just prized nowadays, right? Everybody wants a nice, juicy booty, big thighs and all that stuff. Big thighs, they save lives. Listen, I understand. I own those babies, but I worked for them, okay? And so a lot of the influencers that you see are doing these same surgeries as well. But again, they're not telling you. Now, here's the difference between what they're doing and what the average woman is doing and why theirs always looks so great. They've got that exercise component, baby. Listen, you can't have all those surgeries done and think you're gonna just sit on your keister and you're gonna be looking great. No, the reason why they look great with their surgeries versus someone like a Kim Kardashian or other celebrities that do this is because they are working out, because they have that fitness component. And that is something that you've got to keep in mind in this process. So listen, I'm not going to say that these women should stop or they should change or do anything differently than they're doing already. But for you on the outside looking in, wondering, how can I have that shape? How can I have that body? Part of it is workout, part of it is diet, and a grand part of it is going ahead and sitting on that surgeon's table. Is that something that you're willing to do? You might be, but at least now you can make the decision in a very informed way. But listen, the surgeries aren't the only thing that they're doing. You might be noticing that a lot of these girls are also very muscular. And it's like, how in the heck do you have such low body fat, sculpting, but you have all of this muscle as well, and it looks full, it looks great, right? Here's the thing they're not telling you. Some of these women, a lot of these women are using supplements. Now, I'm not talking about the supplements that you see, okay? I'm not talking about the supplements that they're selling you. I'm not talking about the diet teas, the waist trainers, the shakes, and all that other stuff. They're not even using that, okay? Let me tell you about those brand deals, because I get those all the time in my email. You've got companies that are gonna come out there when you're a fitness professional, when you're an influencer, and they're gonna try to get you to promote their products. And what they're going to tell you is that, hey, we like your stuff. We like your social media. Promote our stuff and we will give you some kind of compensation. Sometimes that's a discount code. That's why you always see these influencers doing what? Giving you discount codes. So it could be the discount codes that gives them money on the kickback, or if they're smart, they'll go for that too, but they will negotiate being paid actual cash for their time. Now, listen, a lot of people ain't smart like that, honey. That's a whole nother video. However, this is what they're doing. So every time you see an influencer going ahead and trying to get you to buy a product, use their discount code to go ahead and get a discount on this supplement or whatever else they love to use that they love and it works for them, I'm telling you right now, they're likely not using the product. Now, what are they using? Instead, what a lot of influencers are doing is that they're going in with things like steroids, lighter steroids, quote unquote, that are not as androgenic. They're more anabolic. I'm not listing them here for you guys to figure out what they are, but they are using them. They're using SARMs, they're using research peptides, and they're also using pro-hormones. And especially for women, these things are great because you can put on muscle and it looks like you're putting on muscle quite naturally because you're not starting to get those manly features about you. You're not starting to masculinize. And that's an important thing for influencers in specifics because you ladies out there don't want to look like men, quote unquote, right? So making sure that they're using things that are not going to masculinize them is the key. And a lot of them, many of them are using these pro-hormones, these anabolics, steroids, and more to get the look that you're trying to achieve. But they are not telling you. You've got to be smart out there. Now, there is one more thing I should probably go ahead and share with you is that, look, there is hope out there though, okay? I don't want you to think that you shouldn't follow your favorite influencers. Go ahead and follow them. Do what you got to do with that. You know what? Listen, it's your body, it's your influence, it's your fitness journey. Be influenced. Go ahead and use that to fuel you forward to what it is that you want to do. But here's what you need to think about. These are the solutions I want you to keep in mind. I want you to be inspired, but I don't want you to be gullible. Stop being gullible. Don't believe everything that your eyes are showing you, especially in today's day and age. Like I said, with AI software and more, this stuff is no joke. There's a lot of money that's to be made. And you want to make sure that, okay, it's cool that I'm watching this fitness influencer. They may give great information. But when you start to get into the mindset of comparing yourself to them, or thinking that just because what they're doing works for them and thus it will work for you, that's where you start getting into a lot of trouble. So be mindful and discern what you're looking at, and don't be so quick to believe everything that you see. The next thing that I want you to do is to do your research before you buy anything. Listen, we all want to get to our fitness goals, and some folks are really good and they're really convincing. They share great information. They get great results for themselves. But what works for them may not necessarily work for you. So you've got to keep that in mind. The number one thing that I say is to look at how they help other people and the results that other people have gotten, what their clients have said. Do the research before you plop down any money to buy a program or to even sign up with someone for coaching. And then the final thing that I'm going to say is to be your own standard. Listen, there is nothing wrong with you, again, not necessarily idolizing. I hate the word idolizing. We don't want you idolizing anything or anybody but the great Lord upstairs. However, being influenced or having that inspiration from someone else is a fine thing. It's totally cool. But I want you to be your own standard. You know when you're at your best and when you're not. And if you haven't seen your best body yet, that's okay. What can you strive for? You know, how can you push yourself to reach your absolute apex when it comes to your own genetics? What is it that you can do to step outside of your comfort zone and to really reach your best on your terms? That's what I want you to do when it comes to these influencers and how you choose to let them, quote unquote, influence you and your fitness journey and your life. Take a step back to make sure that you are always appreciating yourself where you are in this moment, in the here and now. That is the important stuff that's going to get you to that next level and keep you inspired. Listen, we are not the ones in control of this thing, honey, okay? There's something else going on that's more nefarious that you need to constantly be aware of when you are just dealing with life in general today. There's a lot of indoctrination, there's a lot of stuff going on, and it can really warp your sense of reality. But here's the thing, I want to hear your thoughts. Go ahead and post them down below. Are you caught up in the smoke and mirrors and all of this stuff? Do you find yourself comparing yourself to these fitness influencers? Post down below your thoughts on this entire topic. Listen, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I have 2 videos I want you to go ahead and check out. This one right over here, we talked about the beauty standards of TikTok and how that is impacting women and their self-esteem. You've got to check that out. And then I want you to go ahead and check out this one over here where we talked about how crazy the fitness world is getting when it comes to hypersexuality and how women feel like they need to display themselves to show that they're quote unquote in shape. Listen, these are crazy conversations. You're going to want to check that out, and I will see you over there.